Happy Sunday morning. It's early-ish. It's like 7. What time is it? 7:40, 7:50. Heading down to meet the lady that tried to kill me yesterday. Chicken buses are loud. Yeah, so I'm heading down there. Going to meet up with Janice. Although she tried to kill me yesterday, we're going to end up going over to a little town, San Lucas Toliman, and we're going to just explore around there and come along on this Sunday morning. And of course, I'm going to get in a boat because I'm always in a boat. I'm not up the mountain, I'm going to be in a boat. But that's just normal for me. Hopefully she's not late. Everybody's always late. I'm never late. I just realized as I'm trying to walk down the street here that my legs are still beat up from yesterday. They're still doing that, like, the muscles on them. So hopefully she's not going to take me all the way up a mountain. I don't want to go up a mountain today. I want to go on flat land. There's an egg factory somewhere around here. So we're in San Lucas Toliman, over here by the lake, over on the lake, and then we're just walking up the street and we figured we see these here. These are all egg cartons. So I'm assuming that these guys are drying them out to be reused again. It's kind of a lot. This is what happens whenever one dog is in heat. You get a million boy dogs chasing the girl dog. So walking down now to the end of the boat. On the way over here it's 20 Q, but for some reason on the way back it's 25 Q. No idea. I think it's because of the color of my skin, you know, but that's just how it is. And the boat looks like it's packed. I just got off the boat and back over here in Pan and Shell, and I was talking to a lady in her probably, I'm going to say she was 70, and she was saying that how she just started traveling now because beforehand she was, you know, very afraid to travel. She thought she didn't have any money. She thought she couldn't do it. So that got me thinking, and I was like, what can I make this video about today? So the video today is about the reasons why people think they can travel or can't travel and maybe have to fix them. So number one reason why most people can't travel or think they can travel is finances, of course. So it's always money. And it does cost money to, you know, airplane tickets, hotels, but there's ways around that. You know, you can get hotels in like Central America. Here where I'm staying at, the hotel can be, I've seen as little as $5 a night. I pay $14 a night. So my biggest expense when traveling usually is the airfare. And again, if it's something that you're really planning on, something that you want to do, you could just save up little by little by little, you know, have a travel account. And then I was talking to this woman and she said, you know, she thought she had to wait until she was retired and she wishes she was able to do it sooner because it's something now that she's in her 70s. She has been doing for a while, but she wished she started sooner. So, you know, you don't need millions of dollars to go traveling around the place. I do mine on a very, very tight budget. I can probably do a month here in Guatemala for less than like $2,000, and that includes the airfare, the hotel, and all my food. But you have to know how to do it. Another reason why people might not be able to travel or might not think they can travel is time. I know for me, when I started my businesses, I'm a business owner. I literally, and this is like not a joke, I worked for 9 years without a day off. Will I ever do that again? I don't think so. Um, I thought I couldn't take time off. I thought my business would burn down to the ground if I took a day off, and only me could run the business. But what I realized after taking my first trip away in 9 years, it was like, if the business is going to fall apart, it's going to fall apart no matter what you do. If it's an emergency, if you have to fly back over there, you fly back over there. People think they don't have the time. They never, especially in America, you got to work 3 jobs just to pay the rent. My fix for that would be, try to make sure you get some time to go see other countries, because trust me, it adds value to your life. Work, 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 work is great, but not if that's all you do. And I'm a prime example of that. Like, now if I go away, it's a month. I'm not going to go away for a week, because I don't need to sit by a beach with an umbrella drinking a martini. I want to experience, this. Another reason can be fear, anxiety of traveling. Certain people are afraid of airplanes or whatever else. That's something you're going to have to work on with a psychologist, psychiatrist, or something. But if you think that you're going to come to a country and you're not going to be able to fit in, or you're going to get lost, you have anxiety about, not knowing where to go, honestly, you have everything in your pocket these days if you have a phone. I went up a mountain yesterday. There was no paths, there was no nothing. We got completely lost. And my friend pulls out her hiking app and she goes, "Oh, it's about 30 meters down that way." I don't know what a meter is, but you know what I mean? It's like you have everything in the palm of your hand. If you have Google, you have Google Maps, Waze, whatever kind of map or whatever you use, you're not going to get lost. Your internet may be a bit dodgy or whatever at times, but you're definitely not going to get lost. You can find a way around. It's not that hard. It's one of the simplest things I do every time I'm around. Like, even here, I'm in Guatemala, and it's like I want to go somewhere to eat. I pull up the map, pick up restaurants, see where there is to eat. It's not that hard. So try to get over that you're not familiar with the country, you're not familiar with the language, you're not familiar. There's translation apps. You don't need to know how to speak the language. It helps a little bit, but you don't need to. So the thing is, don't be afraid. Just go do it, because you'll learn everything along the way what you need to know. It's not that hard. So don't have the intrepidation, the fear, oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. Just go do it. I've said that in all the videos before. Just go do it. Another reason people are afraid or don't want to go traveling is because they say they don't know the language. Well, isn't that a great reason then to go and learn the language? So my tip for that would be then go to a language school. Again, here in Guatemala, the school that I used to go to was $125 for the week. And I'm talking like 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday. It was probably one of the best experiences I ever had in my life. So don't let not knowing the language stop you. What I would suggest is go learn, go take classes, because once you get involved, once you get part of that the school experience, you'll start seeing more and more of how the community operates. And again, it's not an excuse. Maybe it's a reason why you're thinking, "Oh, I can't go, I don't speak Spanish." But will you ever speak Spanish if you don't go? So go take a class. Start on Duolingo if you have to, and then come over and take even a weekend or a 2-day or a 3-day class, and then try to expand from there. I know people here that have been going to this school for over 10 years. They come here every year and do 3-4 weeks and take the Spanish lessons here in this school. And again, they do called a homestay program, where I think it's only $150 a week for the homestay. So there's your accommodation, $150. There's your classes, probably another $150. There's $300 for the week. For the week, you're getting Spanish lessons and you're getting accommodation and food. It includes the food as well. So no excuses. Another reason might be that you think, well, I don't have anybody to travel with. Well, good. You don't need someone to travel with. Solo travel can be an absolutely amazing experience, and you can go on your own. You can do your own thing. You're on your own agenda. I've had videos about this in the past where solo travel, even as an older person, am I old? I'm 55. But it's like solo travel is an amazing experience. You're on your schedule, your time frame. You do whatever you want. You go where you feel like going. So just because you have nobody to travel with, I would actually count that as a blessing. I would say, yay, I can go and do all my own things. On that note, if you think that you're going to miss home or friends or family, or you can't, you'd like to stay in contact with them, there's a thing called FaceTime. You can video call people every day of the week if you feel like it. What I see in a lot of places I stay at, by the end of the day, they do their day, they do their trips, they do whatever they do, they have dinner, and then they go home. And in their hostel or their hotel or their hospitality, wherever they are, next thing you know, the phone comes out and they're hooked up to FaceTime or a Zoom call or whatever, and they're talking to their family. So you won't get lonely. There's always somebody to talk to anyway. And if not, technology, use Zoom, use FaceTime. Another reason I find people say they don't want to travel is fear. They think that they're not going to be able to, go somewhere safe. Most of the world is safe. If you watch the news, you'll think everywhere in the world is dangerous. So my advice is don't watch the news. There you go. Anywhere that has tourists in it whatsoever is going to be a safe place because they actually need the tourist dollars. So they're going to take care of the tourists. So if you're going somewhere that is heavily touristy, it's not a problem with safety. Don't go out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't hang around the bars. You're going to be fine. It's like if it gets dark, go home because that way you're not going to be in trouble. But if you're hanging out in some like sketchy area at 3 o'clock in the morning, what do you think is going to happen? And that's kind of where all the shit goes down. So safety is, if you look at your local advisories from the government, they're going to tell you like where you shouldn't travel. But my advice would be to do a little bit more research. Try to look at YouTube videos, try to look at reviews of people who have actually been there. Because a lot of the times the government is a very general, don't travel here because of that. But I've been a lot of different countries where people tell me not to travel to. Do your due diligence, but don't think that every other country is more dangerous than America, because trust me, there's certain parts of America where you can get a bit of a fear. And what do? You don't go to those areas, you stay away from them. Same any other place in the world. Another reason I hear people is that they say that there's mobility issues. Just so happens, mobility issues. Well, here you go. There's places are getting better and better and better. They're providing more disability services. They're providing more ramps to get into public places. What I say that most countries are set up, most Central American countries, not as well as the United States, but the services are there. You might have to pay for some of them, unfortunately, but people can get around. I see people here in wheelchairs. I see people here on walkers, as you just saw the lady just passing me. So again, if you really, really, really want to travel, you'll find a way. So, what's your reason for not traveling? You want to write it in the comment below. I'd be more than happy to try to find a workaround for you. I'm not going to say I can help you. I'm going to say I can try to help you. I can try to give you some advice. But put a comment below. Just tell me, if you've maybe overcome your travel fears, or you're a person like the woman I was talking to this morning who was afraid of travel, and all of a sudden she's now traveling all over the place. And again, in her 70s, and she was on a boat that I found very difficult to get in and out of. So anything's possible. And if travel seems out of reach or out of budget for you, start small. Try going somewhere like an Airbnb. Take a weekend trip first. Try not to spend a lot of money. You don't need to spend a ton of money to go traveling. But my advice would be start. Just go. Start small. Look for the budget airlines. Look and go on the off season. Everything's always cheaper on the off season, so you don't have to go prime time.